So finally people, managed to make it back for a sneaky session back at the syndicate. It's been about 2.5 weeks since I was last here. I just ain't been able to get down. I tried to get down last week, the weather was bang on. We had storms, low pressure, everything, it looked just right. But things just didn't quite work out to plan. But I'm back here now and I only got a short session on my hands. Got to be gone by tomorrow. It's about 7 o'clock now, 7 o'clock in the evening. I've got a couple of hours to steadily set up and trickle a bit of bait in and set the traps. I'm not in any hurry. I mean, it'll be tomorrow where I'm sure the bites will start, or pinch a bite. So yeah, so fingers crossed it might be a decent session. Like I say, it's still low pressure. Again, we had more storms last night. The sun's out, it's pushing a strong gale through, and I managed to get in this corner. The wind's sort of swapping, and it's going to be swapping, sort of coming straight in my face for tomorrow morning, which is nice. I've always found that wind does well on here. But yeah, so I've just got here, nothing's set up at the minute. So yeah, but the main thing is got all the gear out ish, well, most of it from the van. So yeah, happy days on that one. But there is a small problem. See, guys who've followed in the past on my syndicate sessions here will know there's only one boat. See if I can zoom in on it. And look, it is horrifically weedy. Everything you see out there, that's all weed. And when you get out there in a boat, it's like 6 inches under the surface. It is horrendous. I mean, borderline where this might actually be my last session here, because you're probably not going to land many fish at this point. I don't know if you can see over there. Look, I can't see myself because of the light in my face, but you can see that little white boat. No one's actually fishing over there, and there is 4 people on. I'm quite surprised that that boat's still there. So me being me, I'm going to get my life jacket on and get round there and get that boat over here. So I mean, that's a massive edge. Having a boat definitely increases your chances of landing per fish, per bite, per ratio. So that's number one. Get round there, get that boat here. So I'm going to leave you with this for now, guys. And when you next see me, I'll have the trap set and hopefully the house up, and I'll have the boat ready to go. I'll see you soon. Finally, trap set. We're fishing. As you can see, it's getting on for about 9:45 now. Just about got about 10-15 minutes left to light. Got them babies out. Took a few casts to get the left hand rod right. It's a bit of a crosswind when that first rod went out, but the other 2 went out first time. And the other rod's up there. We'll walk you down there and shortly. So just a quick update, just like I say before we lose the light. The right hand rod is out 14 wraps and 10 foot towards the 2 middle trees out there, and I just put 3 half spoms out there, and not accurately at all, actually spread them out. Like, I mean, talking just trying it different. So basically that spot, I've fished that spot twice now, and ordinarily it'd be enough for me not to fish it again because I haven't had a bite from it. Both times I put a lot of bait out there on that spot and nothing, not even a bite, not a take, not a loss, nothing. So this time I've decided to just randomly dot a bit out. I mean, one of them's even landed in, you know, shallow lying weed. The other 2 scattered about, they're sort of 15 foot apart each one. I don't want to get the fish, they're obviously not comfortable feeding in that area, but it is a nice spot to present a rig. And as you can see, with the lake being so weedy, finding spots to present rigs on is a bit of a task at the moment. So what I've done is just basically put a bag on, small bag of pellet, and like I say, just spawned 3 at random in the general area, not being accurate at all. And hopefully we'll see if that works this session. And on a left hand rod, if you followed me in this peg previously, I've fished here a few times before here. It's a bit of the money spot, you could say. Had a lot of takes off there, quite a few 30s in fact, and it seems to pick the bigger fish out. Oh, I've got to turn that, it's going to do me head in. That's better. So on that rod, I've stuck to what works on that rod. I put about 3/4 of a kilo out on that spot, probably about 12 to 15 spoms, a little bit of particle, just a tiny bit, well, probably about 70-30% mix, 30% particle, 70% boilie, the enzyme. I haven't got any total chaos with me at the minute because I've actually ran out, so the enzyme will do. Yeah, kept it simple, like I say, particle boilie, and again that's got a little bag on the size of a penny, little bag of pellet. And I'm just going to walk you down here, hopefully we'll still be able to just about see. Camera's picking it up beautifully actually. Well, that's the spawn rod, finally hung to dry. That little combination there, it just works so well. That's the Free Spirit actual spawn rod with a midi black spom and a Shimano Ortegra reel, and that's loaded up with 25-pound fox braid, the yellow one, for just to prevent the gulls snatching down so much, and 18 foot of 50-pound quarter armour cord, and I think that is just about as good as you can get it. Yeah, there are other braids you can use, but generally most of the day ticket waters I fish are just full of seagulls, so yellow does sort of prevent them a bit from diving down, and it works for me anyway. So you seen earlier, I got round here, I got the rods in, went and got this little baby. So happy days on that one. I'm the only one on the lake with a boat, the other 4 I guess are gonna maybe struggle a little bit if they get a fish, because they're gonna have to come all the way around here and get this off me. So anyway, on to the 3rd rod. Like I say, you can see I haven't got my stow bobbins on yet on any of the rods. I've literally just got this rod out 5 minutes ago. I had to make a new rig for this rod, and believe it or not, I've only got 1 hook left what I use for this weedy water. I'm just real specific about what hooks I use in this weedy water. I'm using size 4s, a big chunk of metal at the minute, just to try and prevent any losses. I've got 1 hook left, so yeah, really cutting things fine. I've ran out of lead putty as well now. All the lead putty I've got is actually on all these 3 rods. I was meant to get down to Shelton's this week, and I just didn't make it. And it's just been one of these sessions as well. Do you guys ever have a session where literally you got a game plan and it just don't quite follow through? Like I said, I didn't get here till 7. I've been trying to come here since 6 o'clock this morning, and it's just one of them sessions. The missus was being a little bit tricky, being a little bit difficult. You know, I love her, you know, she is good to me, she lets me come on. I am always cooking bait or doing somewhat, or you know, something to do with fishing, you know, following my obsession, bless her. But yeah, she made it as tricky as it can be for me to get to the lake before 7 o'clock, but I was happy. You know, we can't always be on the bank all the time, but what you can do is try and make the most of the time you are on the bank. So this 3rd rod as well, I've had a few 30s from this spot. Didn't produce so many bites when I was here last. I'm not getting quite the good line lay I need, so before I leave tomorrow on this 3rd rod, I am going to get the weed rake out and try and clear a little path through. So on here I did put a lot of bait in, well, not a lot of bait in, I put 8 to 10 midi spoms full up of crumbed out enzyme, yeah, the enzyme, and just a bit of particle, and this rod I added a few pellets to, and yeah, again with a little tiny bag on. I think that's pretty key here, because there is a lot of little bits of weed and stuff on the floor. You just want it to, that hook to be in that nice little tight bag so it don't get masked on anything on the way down. So yeah, we'll see what works. So this has probably got about half a kilo on. What about down here, the left hand rod here has probably got close to a kilo on, and the right hand rod's just a scattering, you could say, a scattering out with the spom. don't really care where it landed, and we'll see what happens. So that's where we are for tonight. The traps are set. Still got no house up. The house is going to be pitched here when I clear this bit of geese shit. Bed's here. Everything's sort of a bit jumbled about. Time just gets away from you, doesn't it? By the time I ended up getting the rods out and that, you know, it was probably half an hour ago, maybe an hour ago for the first rod. Time just slips away and the nights are drawing back in now. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with that, and I'll wake up bright and early for a nice update and we'll have a chat then. For now, I'll see you in a bit. Early morning update time. So I just had a bite on the left hand rod, which turned out to be a tufty. Didn't I? No fish, unfortunately. Just a little tufty that I've been wrestling for about 25 minutes, trying to get my hook out of his mouth. It was wiggling like a little snake, burying itself in the weed down here and that. Cost me a lead as well. I'm dropping the leads instantly on the take. Little swine. Really thought that was a fish. It's even bubbling under the surface like a fish in the shallows. There you go, it's carp fishing. 6:10 and I get awoke by a tufty. Cheek of it. But it was an excuse to redo the rod anyway. These two rods up here, I'm literally leaving these until I go home. I've got them set correct. The lines are pretty tight, as you can see, but yeah, there's a little bit of give in the line out there, a little bit. I've let it sort of sink and take a little bit of slack out, merely inches to be fair. But on the left hand rod over there, bowstring tight. I mean literally like a violin chord. And I'm trying something new on that rod. I've been wanting to try for a little while and I finally got an excuse to do it. The conditions are perfect. I mean, something totally out of the blue. Something probably no one's ever done in their life. It is literally that, and we'll see if it makes a difference with the bowstring tight lines. I'm not going to say, because I do like to keep my little tricks and stuff to myself. I've literally got handfuls of superior tricks that will just smash 30s on the bank, and I'm not kidding you. But it'd be silly to reveal all, wouldn't it? And if you guys keep following over the next few months or so, you'll continue to find out. As I tour some beautiful lakes across England, and as you know, I'm a crazy big fish angler. As much as I love all carp, my heart is for the real big girls. And don't get me wrong, we're here fishing for 30s, and I think there's probably 140 back in here now, and 2 in October. So not a massive head of 40s, but the sheer number of 30s was enough for me, and being relatively close to home was enough to get me down here and have a taste of the place. But yeah, things are looking good. There's no night bites here, so I won't expect no night action. You seen last night I got the rods in literally about 15 minutes to an hour on the first rod before dark. Didn't expect anything to happen. Spawned a bit out, made a little bit of disturbance, not too much, and we'll see what happens for today. Usually I usually get a bite about 8:30 here, and you can actually get bites right through up until I've had bites at 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're going to drag this day out as long as we can possibly get away with it with the missus, and I'm going to ring her at like 3 o'clock when I'm meant to be home and try and hustle another few hours out of her. So we've got all today, like I said, 6 o'clock in the morning, so we've got 12 hours left, and these two are not coming in unless they've got a fish on, or another tufty I guess. So they're out, and they're out there for the duration. And that rod is also out there. I'm not going to bring that in till I go home now. Traps are set. Still got a few bits laying about and that. I weren't too weren't too bothered about cleaning up too much, going so fast. Just literally chucked the brolly up last night, just set a little bed up and that, and just chucked the brolly over it. I haven't even pegged it down. Gas canister sitting on it, and also food bag and a rucksack sitting on it. So that's me plotted up for the next 12 hours. It's due to be a beautiful windy day, low temperatures at about 21 degrees, which is nice. So perfect, all round perfect. You couldn't get better day conditions. I mean, in general, the wind's pushing southwesterly now. It's turned this morning. It's meant to be changing coming back at me, but it don't seem to be. But it does look awfully nice. Let's see if I can get down the end there. It looks awfully nice down there on the end of this fresh southwesterly, I must admit. Let's see if we can get a zoom in on that. Right down there behind the island. But yeah, there is someone the second peg up. So if I did decide to move this afternoon or this morning for a few hours, I could get in a very end peg, which is where I'd want to be on the end of this wind. But in general, it is a short session. If it was a 36 hour, I'd probably have moved and stuff if need be. But you've definitely got to give this peg a chance. Like I say, it is all day bites here. I have set the traps, I've made my disturbances, and I won't be making anything else. So for now, all my eggs are in one basket for the rest of the day, and let's just hope one of these beauties tears off. I'm going to set the camera up on the pod, and if it does happen, which I'm extremely confident, then hopefully we'll get it on camera. So I will add here, just before I flick the camera off, I spoke to two members, one new and one that's been here for 6 years, yesterday when I got here. And they said it's been fishing really tricky again. I ain't been here for 2.5 weeks. And everyone is literally scratching their heads here, wondering what's going on. And me too for a little while. Obviously I've had a lot of fish and I haven't blanked here. But after spawning, they just shut up shop completely for a while. And you'd think sort of a couple of weeks after they'd start getting their heads down, but they didn't properly. And there's been a few of us ticking away. Getting the odd bite here and there and that. Luckily enough, one of them is me. But there was a lot of people struggling on here. And I will also just say this: don't think this is an easy water by what you're seeing me do, because by any means it's certainly not. It's horrendously weedy. There's so many different little nooks and crannies you could fish in and get it wrong. And I also know two mates, in fact, from Cambridge, also went the whole year last year without landing a fish, and that's pretty much every weekend. And a lot of the Southern anglers are doing the same, the new members this year. Lucky for me, I've been incredibly lucky on this lake. Things have just panned out perfectly. From the very first walk I had round here, when you guys seen, when I inducted the lake, it's all just fell into place. Every game plan I've chucked at the place, it's just worked, and hopefully it will continue to work. So I'm going to shut this camera off now, and I'm going to have some breakfast, and maybe you'll join me, and I'll let you know what's going on the stoves. See you soon. Well guys, I finally arose from my mid-morning nap, and things look promising. Just seen about 10 minutes ago a head roll out to the left, about 100 yards. Then I also seen one about 30 yards out from here, both relatively close to both rods, both shows. So happy days on that. Nothing's happened yet, but I still feel really confident of pinching a bite, and I hope I can just pinch that one bite before we have to pack up. Anyway, here's what's for breakfast today, or brunch. It's 11 now, so got streaky bacon, which I love, pancakes and golden syrup. Guys, if you ain't tried it, you've got to do it. Streaky crispy bacon, pancakes. I just use this pancake mix here. I don't know if you can make that out. Just to mix it your own in a bottle, add your water on the bank, give it a shake, and away you go. And it's amazing, especially when we all crave a bit of sugar on the bank, and the golden syrup certainly delivers that little sugar rush. Hold on, I better flip this over. Oh yeah. So it's just about time to eat now. So I'm going to slip this in, and I'll speak to you after. Hopefully when I next switch the camera on, we'll have a fish. We'll have to wait and see. But until then, I'll speak to you soon. Well, surprise, surprise. Always expect the unexpected. So just finished my dinner, or breakfast should I say, breakfast, lunch. And I just had a bite. Right, left hand rod, sorry. Tore off. Got a good sized common. Yes, buzzing. And then take a little walk down here. Just after landing that and getting that rod back out. There's no rod back here. The other rod ramped off. One tone in, I've got a lovely mirror. Absolutely beautiful fish. So I said I felt confident, and I was bang on right. Right place, right time. Short session, and definitely reaping the benefits for coming down here when every odd was against me. More or less a double take. Both fish landed. 2 bites, 2 fish. Buzzing my nut off. So I'm going to sort the camera and bits out now and get everything sorted, and I'll see you shortly with them fish. So here's the first part of the double take. Over the moon with this one. There's not many commons in here. It's a lovely big fat common. It's been pouring out the bait. Literally the second I landed it, the retainer was full of bait. You guys ain't going to say it, but if you're not on the enzyme, you're seriously deluding yourselves. You're struggling for no reason. Just get on it. There's nothing else like it on the market. It is above, I'm going to say this now, it's above any other brand bait out. Period. You know, people might get funny about it, but that's my opinion. Look at my catch rate, and you surely can't argue. Now this fish here, also had one of the regulars here when I landed the fish, and he will witness within 3 minutes of it being on the mat, has poured about 1/4 kilo of my boilies out. So beautiful, beautifully conditioned common. Like I say again, definitely one, it's been on the bait hard, and you'll see that when I shortly lift her up. Real nice to get another common. I think this is my 3rd common out, and if you guys have still been following, this is like number 44 fish, yeah, in just a few short days. I mean, like you wouldn't believe. Look at that. Lovely, made up with this. What a beautiful, beautiful common. Real chunky, thick set fish. Let's see if I can get that here. Look at that. Huge belly on it. Huge, it really is a big belly. And, getting absolutely loving life here at Hasse Fen. Things still really coming together for me. Could have moved and got on the end of that southwesterly wind, and I thought better of it, and I got rewarded with a stunner. Immaculate, absolutely immaculate. Oh. I'll give her a wave right at the end. I did briefly weigh her with when old matey was here, and she was around the 27-pound mark. I just wanted to know roughly, because he sort of guessed at 23.5 or so. and I guess just under 25, so I had to see him as close as I for him. Calm down. Real thick set fish this, really thick set. So we can get her up on this side. It's really windy today, I'm sorry if you can't hear very well. Look at that. Get in there, common number 3, and what a perler it is. Immaculate. Black head. Loving it. Oh, made my trip an absolute special one. Thank you very much. And we're going to get the second part of the double takeout. And we're going to have a look and see where she goes. I'm going to reweigh this fish quickly, just to make sure I was right. The scales are all 0 to this sling. Let's see what this chunk goes on the scales. Always make sure their pecs are flat. There we go. 27.5, bang on the money. Alright, so I'm going to slip this beautiful common back and get that mirror out. See you shortly. Wow guys, all I can say is wow, wow, wow. Say that, 2 seconds. This fish is epic. So the second part, beautiful mirror, heavily plated mirror. One of the nicer fishes I've caught. Jet black head. Big apple slice scales. This is a really pretty fish. Not a giant, but definitely a fish to be proud of. And she's giving me a bit of a telling off. A nice drenching. Real lively fish. It's definitely a male fish. Just had a little bit of milk in the net coming out, only a tiny dribble. These male fish sometimes can milk for a good couple of months. See if we can get her up again. Look at that guys, look at that. And these are the fish I like to fish for. Jet black, long male torpedoes. Yeah, in general the male fish in general don't get as big as the females, but when they look like this, it's just epic. Look at the head, how black it is. What a stunning creature. This year just keeps getting better and better and better. Just when I think I can't top my last session or my last lake I fished, again, just pulling it out the bag. What a stunning creature. Thank you very much. Not a massive fish, but so over the moon with this. I'm going to weigh her quickly, and then I'm going to treat her mouth. She's got a little bit of a bad lip. Not from me, but I'm definitely going to take care of it. And hopefully in a year's time, you won't see much damage there at all. It's really important to carry the carp care kits. It's just not a money making scheme. They do the trick. They really do help the fish at certain times of the year when they need it. Just under 23 pounds. Or should I say just over 22. Wow. Wow. I'll get her up one more time. Just because it would be rude not to. And she's been so good on the mat. Watch her beat me up, or him. Watch him try and beat me up now. Long torpedo, obviously would have been a lot heavier. He's really let it go. Beautiful, beautiful little low 20 mirror. Happy days. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to slip him back and we should speak soon. have myself an almighty beautiful mirror. Starting to think it weren't going to happen again. Still got an hour and a half, 2 hours left. Just chilling out. And the long rod finally ripped off again. Fish number 3 in what will end up being a 24-hour session, and I got an absolute unit. It's like a breeze block. Wow, that's a good fish. This is a good mirror. I'll give her a quick weigh just to see exactly how much she is. It's a nice big fat mirror. Well, linear should I say. Oh. Just over the 32 mark. Yes, another 30. Oh, what a stunning fish. It's the other linear. I think there's 2 big linears. I've already had one. Cut tail linear. Just trying to control her. She's got a lot of energy. Wow. She is, just keeps getting better and better. Again, evidence. Get on the end sign, guys. Come and join my elite team of carp anglers. Get on the bait and enjoy your carp fishing. She's absolutely going ballistic here. I'm just steadying her. She's on her belly. Got the sides, remember, and again just holding her on her back here. Minimal damage. The only way they will damage themselves is obviously when they are flipping about like that. Keep the water going on her, and hopefully she'll finally let me get her up. What a character! Ah, yes, 32 pounds of beautiful linear carp. What a chunk! She's proper thick across her back. Real nice fish. This definitely one of the ones you want to get. A couple of linears. I think this might be the other 30 linear. Over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. Brilliant. Can't believe it. Thought my session might have been done with that lovely 27 common. Being the biggest fish and all. And then you go and get one of the biggest linears in the lake. Wow. Wow. I'll show you the other side. A little bit two-tone. This fish is really thick, super thick. I'm just going to show you just exactly how thick she is. So there she is on this side. Give you a quick look. Yeah, nice. Look at that. She's really thick fish, this. Right, I'm gonna get some pictures for now, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Well, I think that just about wraps this session up. I'm still going to stick it out for another hour and a half or so. I've rang the missus and said I'm staying till 8:30, 9, and that's all there is to it really. I ain't touched the rod since I had that 30 linear, so all 3 traps are set, and most people would go home and be happy, but if there's one more bite in it, oh, stitch one back, I'll be here to fetch it. So yeah, fingers crossed I might get another bite, but if not, I'll leave you with this. Like I say, I've got about an hour and a half left. Everything else is packed up really. I'm just here. You can see me and my crazy hat, my bed just sitting up, just loving life, absorbing the 8 o'clock sun and having a barbie. Who cares? Look at it, 8 o'clock. Should be leaving to go home, but instead I'm sitting here having a barbecue. So I've got some burgers on there, just a little old rump steak. Just gonna have some pita breads with it, some mayonnaise. Have a nice snack. Slow pack away. Everything's packed away really. Just slow pack away on the rods. And I'm just gonna really just chill out really. And I'm just gonna watch the sunset, I reckon, before I go home. It's a bit of a rarity for me to be able to do that. I've already had the missus on the phone and the kids wanting me to go back, and ordinarily I would. But beans I got here so late last night, I'm just going to enjoy today. 22 degrees, beautiful sun, nice cold breeze, perfect conditions to chuck another 30, I do say so myself. But if you don't hear from me, I'll be tucking into this barbecue, and I will see you on my next session down here on the Syndicate. Tight lines and be lucky on the bank. See you in a bit.